Hey guys, welcome back. Richie here from RW Hobbies. Welcome back for a bench update. First one in the UK, new house for August. Now, if you haven't done so, please consider liking, subscribing. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, all that kind of jazz. So now that's out of the way, let's get to my usual format. So we're going to talk about what I've been working on, what I finished, nothing, and what I've purchased, which is a bunch of car kits right here. So yeah, so past few months not really been building because I've obviously been moving house, dealing renovations, that kind of stuff. So behind me, we probably can't see it off the camera there, it's a 32nd scale Vigan. I finished that like back end of April, I think it was. So it's been May, June, July, August, almost 4 months. So finally got back into it. Eased myself in with the here. Remember, I'm working on the 32nd scale Revell Tornado GR1 in a wraparound camo. This is a slow burner because it's just a bit of a pick of a kit. So I've been working that on the background and finally got my decals for the cockpit from Revell. So if you remember, I didn't have the decals for the cockpit, and I reached out to them, waited like 2 or 3 months, never arrived, and then I reached out to them again, and then I got one second set in like 10 days. So got it here. Look on the camera, you can kind of see how we're looking. Very cool. And once the seats go in, it's going to look a lot better. So now we can kind of get on with the front end on this one. So get moving on this one, get this thing really put together and get moving on it. So that one's done, and I started a new kit. Now, as always, I procrastinated backwards and forwards, getting kits out, opening the box, getting going, about to start it, not starting it. That was the SU-35, the 48 scale one for Great Wall Hobbies. I was about to get going. I even filmed the intro to start a build of the series, and then I just wasn't feeling it. So that went back in the box. The Italeri Norton 1/9 scale Manx bike from like 1950s, 1951. That was out in the box. About to start that one and put that one away. Finally settled on the 48 scale Hobby Boss Persian Tomcat, Persian cat. This guy. Now this has been in and out stash on the build cycle for a while, and I just kept putting it off because the cockpit tub just looked very softly molded, didn't look great detail, and there wasn't really any off the market for it. So I thought it'd be really cool because you got cool desert markings, you got really weather it down, make it look awesome, but the cockpit was kind of a deal breaker almost for me, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I kept putting it back. In the end, I just got it out and started it, and it turned out really good in the end. So this is going to be a build series on my Patreon channel. So those are my Patreon. I appreciate you supporting me, and thank you for your patience over the last few months. I've not been building, so you've been putting up random videos about house renovations and stash tours and build models, that kind of stuff. So now we're getting back in the groove again. So part 1's filmed and we've got next week, or maybe the week after. And that gets this end with the front end here. And again, if you put on this camera, you can see it a little bit better. And it actually turned out beautifully. It's straight out of the box. You got really nice PE seat belts, and despite all my kind of hesitation, actually turned out really nice little cockpit there. So just shows you, you don't, until you get started, put yourself off, and don't want to do these kits. But once you actually get going, it actually turns out pretty decent. So happy with the front end. Now we're going to work on more of the fuselage kind of section. But my thing with this with seat belts, was using this guy, which is Display ST-L, which are not, they look like clippers, but they're not. They're actually to hold parts like tweezers, and they hold really small like grab handles for armor, that kind of stuff. And they actually work beautifully for folding photo etch, like folding the tiny little 48 scale seat belts, no problem at all, folding back. And I'm using these more and more. So I had them for a few months, never used them at all, and then as I get going with kits, like I said, I use them more and I find them really useful tools. So they're not mega expensive. They're probably more expensive now, but a year or so ago when I bought them, they're like $14 from AliExpress, from the Space Store over in China, with free shipping. But again, if you can hold those little closer, there you can see the blue handle. They look like cutters, but they're not. They're just for holding parts, and they actually work really, really well. So that's my top tip for the day. So yeah, so working through this guy. This week I'll continue filming part number 2, which will get you basically. I'll get going on the wings and the main fuselage to get this put together. I'm gonna do it on the ground as always, because whenever I do anything in flight, I always regret it. I like stuff on the ground. Kind of how I see it is like air show kind of demonstration. You see behind me, like you go around an air show, static displays, or like a museum where they're just parked up, maybe the canopy up. That's how I like my models. I know everybody likes things different, but that's kind of how I like it. So I'll do it the same way as I always do. Powered down. I'm not going to show the radar. It has a really nice radar detail in the kit, but I think when you open the nose cone, it kind of affects these kind of sexy lines of the aircraft, you know, and lights of the flow of it. So it's going to be closed up. I might have the cannon on display because it's quite nicely detailed. So it breaks up the camo pattern. So I'll probably have the camo, these doors open. And yeah, the rest of it's going to be pretty much closed up. Probably wings back as well because, you know, as you see the that one over there, if you have a 48 scale F-14 with wings out, it takes a lot of real space up. It's a big aircraft, so it's going to be wings back for sure on this one. But yeah, so there we go. So 2 cockpits, and it's interesting to see the size difference between 32nd and 48th. I really enjoy 32nd, and I think you can see here the difference why. Just that extra detail. I know it takes a lot more space up, but it's just the extra detail, and you can just see a lot more, and I just like the bigger stuff. So there we go. So that's what I've been working on. What have I finished? Like I said, nothing, because it's a big one, which you guys seen months ago, so I don't need to talk about that again. So hopefully, you know, we got build going back on the go. We'll have these 2 on the works and finished next time I see you in a month's time. So yeah, back at it. So nothing finished. What do I purchase? So no aircraft, but actually a lot of cars. Now, I know what you're thinking. Those people follow my channel. I love cars. I love car models. It's really hard to get. I've been stung by a lot like splash paint and paint where I've damaged a lot of bodyworks, and you know, I built a couple of good cars behind me here. I like building cars. I don't know. So I go over a stage where I buy these kits, put them in a stash, don't build them, and then like a year or 2 later I sell them. So you've seen. So we'll see how we go with these ones. Hopefully, I'm going to have a conscious effort here, because the way I'm thinking about it was, you know, 8 years ago I couldn't build aircraft. It looked absolutely crap. So I used to build armor. And I kept going at it and practicing, and I got to a level you see here where I'm pretty happy where I'm at. So my thing is, if I do the same with cars, if I just get a couple of cheap kits and work my way through, my skills should increase, my gloss work, and then hopefully get to a level where I'm happy with, you know, those cars. So did buy a few kits. If I build them or not, I don't know. But let's kind of talk about them. So firstly, this guy actually just arrived like an hour ago. It came really quick, got on eBay at a decent price, and this is the very good kit. This is the M30 from Nunu Platts or B-Max. Every week they seem to change their name, but I think Nunu's what they're going for right now. Iconic 1990s BMW M3, and it comes in, there's so many aftermarket schemes for this, but this was the cheapest one he had for sale, so I bought it with this scheme, which isn't so bad. And that's a cool BMW. Yeah, 1990, so I definitely remember that from my younger days. But yeah, it looks a cool kit. I bought it also because, no pressure, but Paul said he's going to maybe do a build series with this car, so hopefully he does, and I can just build along and follow his paint call-outs and his skills, and help me along with this one. So no pressure, Paul, if you're watching, but hopefully at some point you do, because I got the kit now. So if not, Tamiya LFA, because I have that one I'm waiting for you to do too, so I can follow along. Then Plaza Japan. You've heard from me before. I like to buy from them. The shipping is a little volatile right now. Sometimes some days it's reasonable, some days it's ridiculously expensive. I looked at a kit recently, actually I think like this kit possibly in Plaza Japan, it was like more than a kit for shipping, whereas I bought all these kits right here in a box and it was pretty reasonable. So it's kind of day to day with them. But I bought the fine engraving tool from Tamiya, from Plaza Japan, the 0.2 mil, which everybody's kind of uses this size, and the handle. And I've been wanting this for years, and I just never did it because it's pretty expensive in the US. But if you don't realize, Tamiya being Japanese, in the home market in Japan, all these stuff, most Tamiya stuff's like quarter the price, especially like tools. They're really cheap. If you can get good shipping, you can get them from Japan because, you know, from the home market, and they're a lot cheaper when you get them in like Europe or the US. So this was a very reasonable price. It helped offset the shipping with the kits I'm about to show you. So I got the 0.2 mil, and for years I've been using the Trumpeter P cutter, which is okay. I mean, I got by fine, but I wanted to upgrade, and this one is definitely a, you know, step up in class and tool quality. Kit wise, so it's all going to be cars again. So I got this guy. This is the R35 GTR Type 2 LB Works. New release, I think, from Aoshima. Looks a really cool car. This is something I'm not going to build for a while, but I got it for the stash, and I've had these before in different they do so many different flavors. They got a blue one, a white one, all slightly different. I've had them before, and I've never built it because you need some surgery. You've got to cut off the front bumper and put on new parts and stuff. And when I've had these a few years ago, my modeling wasn't up to the pay grade of getting this kind of stuff done. Now, having done like the Vegan and Harrier and other pretty intensive kits, I feel confident I can take care of surgery and stuff, and know how to cut and sand kits and that kind of stuff, and move body panels. So that's for the stash. Liberty Walk looks beautiful car, but again, pretty advanced, this one. Next up, something a little bit fun and very different. And this is, I don't know what to explain. It's just basically, it's a game center. Typical Japanese. It's basically a van with like a arcade video game thing in the back. And it just looks really cool. And they do a few of these. I think you might have seen them. They do one like a fish head, like a fish one, like selling fish. They do a sushi one. They do like a ramen noodle kind of thing. All these different trucks. They're not very expensive. Again, getting from Japan. They're probably like $20 or so. Aoshima, same scale as all the other car kits, 24 scale. Looked in the box, not too much in it. Pretty simple, just tons of decals for all the kit. But I thought, you know what? If I'm looking for something a little different, that's a good little mojo. Again, something completely different, a little gamer van. Now this one, I've seen this kit for years. I never bought it. Again, it was cheap, less than $20. Very simple kit, and this is the 1988 Porsche 911. Just a cool car, very 80s yuppie-ish. Definitely remember seeing those growing up. And yeah, it's very simple. Just 2 or 3 sprues, no engine or anything, but perfect. If you just want to get back into building cars or new to building cars. It's less than $20, and you got nice looking car. Which Tamiya, it should go together pretty well. Shouldn't be a lemon, hopefully, and you get a good product at the end of it. Next up, 2 more to go. This is the recent release, I think, run last year. It's the Fair Lady, the 240ZG. Again, in 24 scale. They do a larger 12 scale to Tamiya, but this is looks a beautiful kit in terms of engineering. I'm not a huge fan of the car per se, but just the way it's the engine detail, just typical Tamiya, full of detail. Complete opposite to the Porsche I just showed you. This one is like chock full of plastic. Looks like it goes together really well, hopefully. Yeah, so I got that one, a classic car. And finally, talking about video games and Sega Rally and all that kind of stuff, I got the Castrol Toyota Tom Supra GT, again a 24 scale, again cheap kit, $20 if that. No engine, simple kit, but you got a lot of decals, and that'd be a cool little build. Simple kit too, I think, hopefully. So that's that one there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Wow. But it came at a good price, so that's what I purchased. So there we go. So what else? So what I am about to purchase, possibly when I end this video, is had a little bit of inkling to do a 16th scale armor kit. I've got some interior 35th scale ones, but a little bit intimidating, and been looking online, and I'm trying to have some great ones, but they're getting pretty expensive now, like huge money for like the King Tiger and all that kind of stuff. But I do like the Tiger tank, and a Hobby Boss do one. Reasonably priced. It's under $100, and it's 16th scale, but has no interior. And I thought that might be a good kind of thing to get into, like painting and weathering. Just get it built pretty quickly, few parts. So I'm actually going to order that probably after this video, so you'll see it next time around. So I'm going to do a 16th scale Tiger, because why not? I think it's going to be pretty awesome to work on. So I'm going to do that one, and then maybe a few other kits in mind. I want to get the new 48 scale Airfix Buccaneer, but it's not out in the US right now. And looking at Hannant's, to ship it out to the US from Hannant's, it's more in shipping than the kit cost, so it's ridiculous money. So I can't. It's not cost effective. So I'll wait. If it's the RAF version, I might have done it, but it's a Navy version. So I'll wait to see if Sprue Brothers or Scale Hobbyists get it, and maybe get it that way in the US. But yeah, shipping it from Hannant's now is just cost prohibitive, unfortunately. But yeah, so let me switch my camera back over, and let's take a look at the Facebook group and look at some people's work, and we'll come right back and wrap it all up. Okay, so here we are over at the page once again, that time of the month. So first up, Mr. Carswell over at Black Rifle Model Works. If you haven't already done so, please consider checking out his Facebook group and his channels. He's started doing a Zoom hangout, kind of like what Paul does at ISM, where you can join, and rather than modeling alone, you can talk to like-minded people where you do your modeling and that kind of stuff. So Zoom hangouts over there as well. this is a brand new kit, as just released by Tamiya recently, the 48 scale Challenger 2. Now, the Tamiya 48 scale kits are legendary, really nice, good builds, and from notes we put here, again, looks like this is exactly like the other ones. Cannot recommend this kit highly enough, built out the box with a scratch-built base. Now, you can see, you know, I mention this every month, but a simple base, a vignette, just especially with armor, just really sets it off nicely. So you can see here, just great color modulation, and again, the 48 scale. And out of the box, real great kits. And a lot of these too have like metal, like weight you add to them. So add some, because they're little kits, but the weight adds, I don't know why it's designed that, but just add some extra weight when you pick it up, I guess. Looking really awesome. Very good. Next up, this is somebody who posted in my group, unfortunately. This is somebody I found on the internet and shared a post. But I can't really zoom into these pictures, but this is a real guy right here. And this is his name. I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm not even attempt to pronounce it. But this is really epic. So there's a couple of things going on here. This here is what he's holding in his hand there. He created a diorama of himself with his grandkids or his kids. Looking at the modeling stuff, but not only that, he's created this a scale one down there. So he's created this scene twice. So this is all a model, and he's done a model of the model inside the model, if that makes sense. So you got the real life, him holding it, and then this is a model, and then he's showing his kids a diorama he's built of them looking at it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is a diorama within a diorama, and this is totally scratch built, amazing. And not only that, I can't, being on this system here, I can't, the way I capture the picture, I can't zoom in. But he's done here a diorama of a model shop with two kids, and he's done built models. I'm guessing this is probably around about 16th scale. So he's done models in here, in the display case, built. And all these kits, and picking out kits, looking at kits, and you can see here again, the cabinets, just the work. I mean, the amount of work gone into this, and just the skill. Again, this is all scratch-built stuff. It blows my mind. This is truly epic. So I thought I'd just share this with the group. If you haven't seen it already, again, amazing. So we got a diorama within a diorama. It's, yeah, and it's just this with the kit. It looks real life. I mean, amazing. So great stuff there, and I just want to share that with the group. Next up is Paul, another one of his Soccer Mum cars. This time it's the Alpha model Audi RS4 in a nice blue color. This is a resin kit, totally resin, looking pretty awesome and super shiny as always. Very cool. And next up, if I click the right button, this caught my eye. This is one of the older ones I must have missed from July the 5th, but this is Stuart, and he did a Revell 32nd scale Hawk in the awesome, like, very retro Raspberry Ripple scheme. And just the Hawk on this scheme, and just Raspberry Ripple, it just looks awesome, this scheme. The Empire Test Pilot School, great build. I really like, this is definitely something I might be interested in doing myself. I've never done Raspberry Ripple before, but either this or a Tornado for sure. But it looks awesome. Very good job. Very clean, nice build. And just in that scheme, it just looks real cool indeed. And finally, not a project to show, but just an update here. Kalen, White Glove Models, who's been a follower of my channel for a very long time, and he has his own channel too. He does live streams and build videos. He's also a firefighter, and I noticed here, unfortunately, it seems regular occurrence, but he lives in Northern California, and the wildfires, it looks like he had to evacuate his city and his home. So hopefully he's safe and staying safe, and get back to the Kevin, get back to the bench soon, start filming and doing videos again and modeling. So just a shout out, thinking about you, and hopefully all is well over there in Northern California. And that is really it. So I'm going to switch back to me before. Just a reminder again, the link is in the show notes below. If you wish to join, it's totally free. If you can share your work, or just look at other people's work, or just ask questions. It's just a friendly forum and group page. Alright, so there we go. So great work as always. Thank you everybody for posting. Really appreciate it. Helping build a community. And yeah. So last thing to note is, I haven't forgot, should I say. I still have everybody's stickers they sent me. people's various stickers from various YouTube groups and stuff. I'll do something with them. Maybe this wall behind me, I might create like a little board and stick them on, or do something sort of on camera. So if you got any stickers you want to send me, just shoot me a message. At the same time, I do have a few of these guys left as well, which I'll swap with you. So if you want to send me a sticker, I'll send one of mine back to you for your various channels, and you can see it up behind me. So again, just shoot me a message, and that'd be no problem at all. So thank you as always for watching. Again, please, if you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing, liking, all that kind of stuff, because it helps YouTube algorithms, help the channel grow, and me buy better kits and better equipment and make things better. And yeah, there we go. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.